Alright, so yeah, based on the feedback that was gotten, right, and I wanted to re-show some of the features and why we'll be using those Google features. So for Google Auth signing, right, I will be using, so we'll be using, um, so we'll be using this to ask for the user's consent, like to show which Google accounts they want to use to sign in or sign up for the account. So what this does for us is it allows us to have access to things like users' names, their email, and their profile pictures, right? So we need that to be able to store it in our application to show their names and their profile picture at relevant pages, right? So here I want to use this account to sign in, and voila, inside of the application, right? So that's basically what we want Google signing for. So my name is Ademola for the Gmail. So we want to be able to populate the user's name directly on the application. Okay, and you can see the name here. So that's coming directly from the Google side of profile and details of that user account. Okay, so yeah, so that's what we'll be using that for. Okay, and then you can see here I have my full name, so which is also gotten from the Gmail, um, you know, credential or details of the user that's signed in. Okay, so on that, okay, so I also so after that, what we want to do is that if this process of user setting, linking their Google Calendar to the application so that they can, when they create a session, Google can use that um, to generate a Google Meet link and also push those. So when another user books that event, right? So Google, it will be used to push the event to the Google Calendar, right? So that's why we needed the Google Calendar um, feature, right? So that we can there can be like notifications for users before their scheduled meeting with the professional. Okay, so as a professional, I will link my Google account, right? And I want to link it to my signed in Google account, right? So because Google hasn't verified the account yet, which is the process in which we are trying to conclude now, so that we don't have these warnings in our application. Okay, so there is this consent page where it asks users that they trust the application to continue, right? So on that, we can link the account, and then it shows the application automatically shows them the next setup that they need for the application. Okay, so if I set up my application, which is through adding a bank account, okay, so I can say PAM. So I want to add a Nigerian PAMPay account. Then it automatically generates my name. Then I want to add the bank. Okay, so I successfully add my bank. If I go back to my dashboard now, it it means I've already done everything. So what is just remaining for me now will be for me to create a session. Okay, so I can create a session now. So when I create a session, I can call it for Google verification. For Google verification, right? Okay, then I can just the description. I can just say description, right? Then I want the so I'm actually creating this as a, I'm creating it as a professional, right? If you go through our terms and conditions and privacy policy, which I will be showing later, you get to understand the relationship of a professional and a client, right? So if I click on one off, I get to choose the session minutes, how long I want the session, then where should this session hold, which is the Google Meet. Okay, so which is one of the reasons why we need the Google calendar, right? To be able to create and Google events, to be able to create this Google Meet link for both professional and the user so that they can have a platform where they can exchange their knowledge. Okay, right, so I want to click next. Once I click next, the next thing will be for me to choose my availability, and I don't have default availability, so I want to just choose that the session I want it to be on Monday to 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., which is 1 hour, right? And then I want to just continue that. Then after I continue that, I want to set the price of that session, right? The question is on that page, so I actually make it compulsory for anyone that wants to book that particular session to actually answer those questions. So yeah, then I have successfully set up a one-on-one session, right? And automatically it shows on the dashboard. So what happens here Alright, so a user will now click on the continue to go to the checkout page, right? So they go to a checkout page where they will make payment for that um, for that particular you know user, okay, to pay into their accounts. Okay, so I don't know how this will be. This is actually a live test, right? So after they make payments, right? If I use this, after they make this payment, then when a user comes back to their dashboard, to use a normal, okay, so when the user comes to the dashboard, I want to use another account at highermail.com. I think that should work. So I want to show the reason why um, these features are needed. So after they must have paid in this checkout, right? After they paid, then the professional, that's of the the owner of that session that created the session. You know what I showed is someone that wants to book the session, right? So after they book that session, the session automatically shows on the upcoming session for that user. This is their revenue, that's the money that everybody has paid for a session, right? So now, because of the Google Calendar linking and being able to generate a Google Meet link, it is now easy for a professional and the client to have a platform. So when they come here, they can click on this join session now, and then okay, so this does not have because of the issue that we're trying to fix, right? So this is it. This has okay. So this now provides them the platform for them to meet and exchange knowledge. Okay, so this is the real reason why we need those features, right? So after they must have completed, so they now have a platform to you know talk to themselves, then for the hours that they will be using for the whole process. Okay, so those are the reasons why we need this thing. Okay, so there is also a way for them to remove Google Calendar from their what's it called, because I used a test um, bank to do it for now, a test email to show the whole idea of the syncing of the application. Okay, so there is also a way to remove Google Meet linking the synced Gmail from the application. So you can remove it by just clicking on the remove. Then it asks you if you want to remove, if you want to unlink your calendar from the application. So we can, just as we can link, you can also unlink the the calendar from the application if you want. So when I click on that, there is no more calendar on the application. So, but what this the consequences of this is that when you don't have a calendar linked and you create a session, when you create that session, it will not generate a Google Meet link because there is no linked calendar, right? It will not generate the the Google Meet link, and it will only generate the Google Meet link if the person that is also booking that session has a linked calendar to their account. But if you don't have to, or you register as a guest, if you register as a guest, then both of them will not be able to have a Google Meet. So the basis for that is that we need Google Calendar to be able to add booking to events, to be able to give them a Google Meet link to share their knowledge, and also we want to also be able to get with Google Awards. We need to also get their profile and every other thing to be able to log them in into the application, and also retain some of their information that's vital to the application, which we have already highlighted in both our terms and conditions, terms of services, and also the privacy policy. And now we can find the privacy policy inside of settings. Okay, if you click on from the dashboard, if you click on settings, then you can come here and change your profile, add your social media link, and all of that. You can also set notifications for the application, right? And then you can, for now, you can only update your password if you want to update the password. So on the filter of that, you can see we have the copy, which is 2025 one true, all rights reserved, and then we have our privacy policy, terms of service. Okay, so if I click on privacy policy, then we can see all of the privacy policy for Onetro Limited, and then users can go through it, and they will be able to know every other information that they needed to know, just as you can come here and then they can click on terms of services to see all of our terms of services which came into effect on October 1st, right? You can see all of it inside of our application, right? And then we added the contact support. If there is any question, they can contact us at support@onetro.co. Same for the privacy policy. Under that, we can see support@onetro.co. Okay, so I feel and I'm hoping this is enough for us to get all of the approvals that we need based on Google Calendar, Google Awards, and calendar events, and also Google Meet, and also using user infos, and then all of that, right? Yeah, I remember I've shown the content, the consent, the consent page for Google Awards to show them that okay, this is where you are going to, and then they can opt to go back if they don't want to, continue with that. Okay, so with this, I hope that we get what we want quickly so that we can go into the market with this and contribute